in there. I'll try again. Alright. Hi and welcome back to another video. Let's take a walk through time, through history, and check out what was around back in the day. There's Hogan and Hogan Associates here. That's looking towards the old high school, the conservatorium, Townsville, all those sort of ways. Bamboo Creek, the cemetery, Caravan Park, a lot of other places. And you got Roscoe's Italian Restaurant and Pizza across there, which used to be Taste of the Tropics. I don't know if anyone remembers that being Taste of the Tropics. And you got Kmart, Domino's, Subway. Now this is the Cassowary Coast Regional Council. It's the Works Department, basically. Used to be the Johnson Shire Council one. This is now one-way street, as you can see in the sign. We're going down Ernest Street. Check it all out. Now here, before this, was the Works Department car park. It was all these old, like, tin shed type things where you could park underneath. And they had these covers. And then next to that was BBC Hardware. Yes, BBC Hardware. Now where Subway is was where BBC Hardware, where Subway is. And you got the Backpackers Shack across there. And where Define Normal is, had Bibby's, Sibby's Bakehouse in it, and then there was Lollipop Cafe. So this was all BBC Hardware, a white building, a white shed type of building. Across there where the NDIS is, next to Define Normal, that was Rec Division. When I first saw it, it was Rec Division. Here was Kebab Works, now it's Domino's Pizza. So this was Kebab Works. And you got Cynthia's Wholesale Fish Market. And the Salvo store next to it, which used to be some other place that I never actually knew what the business actually was. They didn't really say. And here, this used to be an ATM, where you can see that square. They had an ATM there for a while, a quite expensive one to use. Then you've got the Karen Croft building, which is Memo Medical Centre, or Memo Health Services Limited. You got Joanie Motors, which is still there after all these years. And there's your Cynthia's. See it a bit properly there. The town pool's basically behind all that. You've got the Salvation Army family store, the thrift store, second-hand store, whatever you want to call it. Your Joanie Motors, McDonald's. Now, I remember here, there was a very old motorbike shop somewhere along here, and then there was an old house turned into two flats, and across here there was a really old Queenslander style house with the heaps of windows and all that, which they knocked down and nothing ever got built. You got the Moondara Motel across there. You got Heyman's Electrical. But along here, yes, there was a motorbike shop back in the 90s. You got the BP. Well, that was renovated in about 2007. I've actually got photos of them knocking the old one down to build this new one on my old and new Innisfail Facebook group, which is about half the size of this. And there's your McDonald's car park and all that. Back towards Joanie Motors, Kmart, all that. Gives you a bit more of a look. We'll have a bit of a look at the fuel prices to show what it was like at this particular time. Quite expensive. Just to show it. And there's your Heyman's Electrical across there. I think that was a tile place at one stage. Yeah, tiles. You got the Crown Hotel on the corner. This is Lily Street, which goes down to Central Arcade or Innisfail Food Emporium, and then down to Charles Street, Gladys Street, all that. Okay, so there's your fuel prices for now. Across the way was Lee's Fruit Market, where the Innisfail Asian store is, or was, or yep, Crown Hotel. Next to the Crown Hotel was the TAB, which is now gone. The building's completely gone. You've got a car park there and a side entrance. Looking back towards Kmart and that again, so you can have a bit more of a look. Trying to get these done before the rain decides to come. You got a payphone on the corner there, which is now has Wi-Fi, but Telstra Air, which is very unreliable. So this is down towards the senior citizens as well. Senior citizens hall's down there. You got Woolworths, Reject Shop, Medical Centre, all in Central Arcade and Woolworths, or Innisfail Food Emporium. You got what used to be a dance studio. Down there, the second white building with the pillars at the front. Down there. So let's go across. Well, we can. No cars around, so. Yes, the Crown Hotel's just been renovated, as you can see. Pretty full on. But this was Lee's Fruit Market for many years, and there were other fruit places have been in there too. Fruit and vegetable places. You've got Innisfail Asian stores in there now. You've got Career Transition Assistance Designer Life. It's in there now. I think that's more of a job network, but I'm not sure. You got the Bedrock Cafe, which has always been the Bedrock Cafe as long as I can remember. And this was Cartridge World, which is now Tropical Cartridges and Printing. It's Tony Lacey's building, his shop. Bit of a look. Then there was Blundell's Video, was along here too. Blundell's Video World, the video shop. Excellent. Then you got an Aboriginal art shop. It's pretty cool. Across the way here, okay, so where Prices Plus sign is, that used to be Crazy Clark's. And before that, I remember it in the 90s being a mechanic. A mechanic had there, and where the aquarium and bird centre is. Yeah, there was a big mechanic. This here, Vinnie's, so Vincent de Paul, that was built for CES, Commonwealth Employment Services. Before all the job networks started, it was the CES. There was no such thing as job networks at the time. This here, I remember this as Pizza House. Yeah, originally Pizza House that I saw. It was a bike shop at one stage, now it's food station. It was also Table 39, I think they called it, at one stage. So it's a kebab shop and all that. As far as I know, it's owned by the same people who owned the Indian place across the road, the Great Flavour of Indian restaurant. You got Harvey Norman, which has been a few different things over the years. Vibe, that was Sports Stop, owned by Alan Jerd. And there was a video store in there called DVD Den, which bought all the old DVDs from Video Easy that no one wanted. Yeah, by the end of the time when Video Easy was selling right out of their stuff, they bought it and put it in here, and it didn't do any good. Then across here there was Innisfail Reception Lounge, which is where that white door is on the end, was over there. You had Sud Sisters, which was the laundromat. There was a real estate in there, along there at one stage. This was divided up into about 5 or 6 different shops. And then Harvey Norman, you got Rumours nightclub at Ron and Dan's Butchery. This here was Ernest Street News, the first thing I remember of it, owned by the Coppins. Yeah, Ernest Street News. And at one stage, there was, gee, I can't remember the name of it. If anyone can remember, please put it in the comment section. But there was a place, I think, where the Aboriginal art place is. Was Donna's Mini Mart. That's what it was. Donna's Mini Mart. There's a name for you from the past. This here was Kayla's surgery at one stage, veterinary surgery. Now it's Pooch's Lounge, dog grooming place. This here, when I first saw it, was a tractor place. And then it was like a wine warehouse type of thing. Then it was the warehouse, and then Sam's warehouse, and now Bunnings. Across here was the Innisfail Hotel, or also known as the Zoo. And we're coming up on where there used to be a very old service station, which was United. There'd been a few different ones over the years. Now it's being done up for other things. I don't know what they're putting in there. It's very old and not looked after. There was this seafood place in there at one stage. After Cyclone Larry, there was Violets and Lace Nursery was in there for a while as well, which is now at a Coquette Point, back where it was, I think. Now you're looking towards Edith Street, Coles, where Sepoy's big huge shop used to be, where the car park is at Coles. Now we're going to cross over and go down, but we'll show where Chemex is. That used to be a laundromat, which at one stage was owned by Kevin and Linda Huey, who ran Newman's store for a while there. That's up towards the main part of town, and looking the other way is towards like Gundi Hill, KFC, all those sort of places. So now we've got the National Service Memorial here and King George Park, the sign, the Memorial Gate sign. Okay, let's cross over here because there's not that much on that side. It's all the park. And that's where the Innisfail Hotel was. There was also a music shop, like instruments and things, sheet music and all that, which was part of that. Okay, so this is your Coles Corner now, Sepoy's Corner. Looking up to where Dom's used to be and San Pagano's fishing and tackle shop used to be, and all that. And basically where that wheelie bin is across from there, I don't know if you can see it in the video, that was a greenhouse. It was just up from there was a greenhouse where the trees sort of go down the side of it. There's a boulder and all that. You can actually see the boulder where it was part of the greenhouse. There's a bit of concrete there. If you're over that side you can see it, where it was the outer edge of it. And then there was two swings basically where that bin is, back in the 90s, which I remember quite clearly. This is Coles has changed colours a lot over the years. Now you're looking back towards McDonald's, Kmart, Bunnings, all those sort of places. Walk on Wheels, that was Chemex at one stage. I think that was built for Chemex, that part. And when we're coming up on Innisfail Plumbing and Paint, Cairns Hardware, part of the Cairns Hardware group. Excellent. There used to be a house down the side. You'd go down the side and at the back there was a house, but that's long gone. They knocked it down and put a shed in there. As you can see, the shed there. And we're coming up on where Huxton Ford used to be. There used to be a very old house which everyone thought would be historically listed, heritage listed, but it's now gone. A very old and very big house, but now that's Centrelink, totally different building. Here's your Innisfail paint and plumbing to show what it was like. Innisfail hardware, whatever you want to call it. Seems to have a few different names. Ever since Bunnings came to town, they made this bigger, a lot bigger. And you're looking at Grace Street up the hill to the Catholic Church. If you want to have a look at all that, Owen Street and all that, I've done some videos prior to this. Okay, so this is where Huxham Ford used to be. Panorama Buses was behind it. Trans North. It was Overflow at one stage and now Prices Plus. You can see where the car yard part used to be on that end. And we're heading down towards where Sam's. I think after it was Huxham Ford, there was another, like Frontier Ford it was after that. Yeah, Frontier Ford. There's a memory for you. It's the old Sam's Pies. You can sort of see the sign there. I don't know if it shows up. There's where Panorama Buses and all that was. I've got a photo on my Innisfail, on my old and new Innisfail photos page of this before it was even there. It was like Johnson River Transport. It was to do with them. But you can have a look, and there's the Good Counsel College in the background, the higher building. Yeah, you can see Sam's Pies written there. I don't know if it's showing up, but hopefully it is. And you got the home. It used to say the home of Sam's Pies. This has been a hairdresser since then, and a few other different things. It's actually less of it in there than when I last come along here. And here, at one stage, it was to do with Sam's Pies, but then Trans North had it, Panorama Buses had it before that. It's a very Art Deco-y building. Very, very Art Deco-y. It's starting to rain, so I'll have to stop shortly. But, yeah. There you go. Trans North. Panorama Buses, all this. That's where they had their office. Okay, so we're heading back up. You can see the rain. Got to get under cover. But yeah, see where, like their lunchroom and all that for the Panorama Buses and that, where those doors are way back. There's actually a bus in there. There you go. But yes, the old Huxham Ford, Frontier Ford, Overflow, Prices Plus. I don't think anything else was ever in there in the time that I've lived here. December 1989 I moved here. So you can see Anzac Park, King George Park. It's called both names. And if you look down, you might be able to see it. You might be able to see BCF. It might show up on here through the camera. Down there, which is the corner of Grace Street and Gladys Street. Yeah, right there. It was a spare allotment for many years. Just down from Tang Villa. Tang Villa was on the corner. Then it became Pappy's Gym, Frank's Gym, Pappy's Gym, all that. And then along, yeah, BCF. So we'll go back up here, and then we'll call it a day once I get back to Kmart, so I can show both sides of the road properly. So you can see across the road and you can see the buildings up close. So that's up Grace Street towards the Catholic Church, Catholic schools, and all that. So you can see there's a few roundabouts along here now. If you haven't been here for many years, you'll be able to see now that that's there. You can see where Kayla's Vet was there for a while. There was a chiropractor on the corner of opposite BCF, in the corner of Grace and Gladys Street. And then it was Custom Line Computers. And it's now, I forget what it's called, but I've taken photos of it and you'll see it on my group. If you have a look at my Innisfail group. There's a Donald Bradman sign across here we might get across and have a look at. If it doesn't, if the rain doesn't get any heavier, then we'll go and have a look. Rat tests here. One test per pack. $10. The hardware store. Just shows what it's like this day and age. Okay, well, there's your Innisfail hardware sign, Division of Cairns Hardware Group, okay. There's your times, just to see what times they were open back then. Let's go across and have a look at this Donald Bradman sign, and I'll show you where the greenhouse used to be. You can see the band rotunda in the middle. And across the way, where those two flats are, they actually have electric car chargers now. Yes, there's electric car chargers straight across here. So if you ever need one, if you come to Innisfail, look for the band rotunda in King George Park. If you've got to Coles, if you're coming from north, then you're going too far, and turn down where near BCF. So you go down Glady Street. But right here where this concrete is, where this concrete rectangle is right where there was a big greenhouse. I'm assuming it was a council greenhouse. From my recollection, there was definitely a greenhouse here, and up a little bit further was two swings. One swing thing with two hanging off it, basically where that bin is, that wheelie bin is. So we're coming up on the Donald Bradman sign. Royal palms planted to commemorate the visit by Sir Donald Bradman to Innisfail in 1931. Anzac Memorial Park, there you go. That tree's been there forever, that big one in the middle there, near the playground. That playground there was the site of the Innisfail State School originally. Central School. Then we'll look across to Coles. We'll go back across because we've got to get down that way. And that's back down to Prices Plus direction, Centrelink, all that. If you can see through there, I don't know how well it'll show up, but you can see the Rising Sun Centre with the bricks and all that across there. Okay, so got Innisfail Chemex there, which used to be, like I said, a laundromat. You can see the A-frame building, Bursts and Auto Parts, which was Mick and Mark's at one stage, and then it was the Black Marlin Hotel. It was like their restaurant, and I think it might have been a bit of a club, nightclub type of thing back in the day. I think it was Black Marlin. If anyone has any pictures of any of this stuff, or any other old Innisfail pictures, especially 80s and 90s and early, like 2000 all the way up to now, or even earlier, you know, anytime, let me know. I was told years ago that when I was cleaning at Sam's warehouse, that the air conditioning was never put in properly in that building. So it's never been fixed, never been done up. That's why it's always hot when you go into Bunnings. Now if you look this direction where it says the East Coast signs, or East Coast Solar Solutions, I think it says, which is a fair way away. That was San Pagano's building. San Vecchio before that. And EB Games, where it says EB Games, was Dom's. We'll come across here, this was the Innisfail Hotel, like I said. That green building up there, when I first saw it, was Chandler's. Just like Harvey Norman. And Harvey Norman took over. And next to that was the Street Cafe, Continental Cafe. Basically where the Bendigo Bank is now, and the tobacco place. And the tobacconist and that. Okay, Ron and Dan's Butchery. That's just changed colours and had new signs on it over the years. There's Bunnings. I think that was Hastings Deering when I first saw it. It had tractors and all that. Yeah, Hastings Deering. But I know it was definitely a wine place when I used to walk past it on the way home from high school. Yeah, and the warehouse, Sam's warehouse. And now Bunnings. Been Bunnings for a while now. Yeah, so that was Ernest Street News. This is where you went up to the Innisfail reception lounge. And then there was the Sud Sisters laundromat and all these other ones, other things along here. I'm sure there was a job network along here at one stage too. Yeah, one of the job agencies. And this was Sports Stop, Alan Jerd, and then Pizza House, and CES, and then you've got Harvey Norman. Yeah, where Vinnie's was CES, Commonwealth Employment Services, before there was such thing as job agencies, job networks, as they were originally called. Looks like this is being done up above the great flavour of India. Let's have a bit of a look at the menu. I don't know how well it'll show up, but it gives you a bit of a look. Pause to read. See what they had. Gives you an idea of prices and things that happen. This was the Harvey Norman thing for a while there, where they used to store stuff. This is the pet shop, which I said before used to be a mechanic all the way along here, where all this blue tile is, which you can tell used to be green. This was Crazy Clark's, Prices Plus. At 6:53 AM. You can actually see, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but it says Ford, Oasis, Computer. Very hard to read with the reflection. And it says winner 1989, 1994, 1990. I can't read the rest. It's all stuff from the old Hudson Ford days. You can see the sign there, bit of a arrow on that. Then you look down here, you can see MTAQ approved member. Pretty awesome. And you got the ANZ, Visa and MasterCard and bank card sign, which is very rare to see now.